Hi there Kit fans, it's Louise with you today on behalf of Kitaholic Kits, and I'm sharing a new 12 by 12 scrapbook layout featuring the July kits. This is actually my first layout of the month, and I have to tell you, I am really missing scrapbook magazines at the moment. I wish we still had one in Australia. It's a bit disappointing that we don't, but to give myself a little bit of a mojo kick, I pulled out an old scrapbook magazine. So this one is from 2006, so I find you can get old scrapbook magazines a lot of times at your local op shops, or if you've got a stash, pull them out, because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take a technique from an old scrapbook layout and use it in my kits this month. So for this one, you can see I am using the ribbon, so it's sort of a folded and stapled ribbon technique. I don't even know if it has a name or what you'd called it, but that's what I'm going to call it. So I've got this scrap piece of paper that runs along the page, and all I'm going to do is add some embellishments and some bright coloured ribbons. So these are just ribbons that I had in my stash. I didn't go out and buy a heap of ribbons. I purely just pulled out, and I didn't have a lot of ribbons left because I'd thrown them out thinking that I wouldn't use ribbons very much in my scrapbooking anymore. So this is what I had left, and as you can see, all I'm going to do is just fold them over in layers and use a little bit of adhesive first, and then attach with some staples. But I'm also tucking a few little embellishments in there as well. Now, I recently was lucky enough to have my first trip to Melbourne. I needed to go on a work conference, which was the first one we'd gotten to go on since the COVID pandemic. So it was definitely a fun experience to be traveling again, and I was so excited to see some new country, which I've never been to Melbourne. I'm a Queensland girl, so it was nice to get to Melbourne and explore a new part of the country. So this kit was perfectly timed for me because I had some travel photos that I could use. I would have dug some out if I needed to, but I think what's great about this is if you wanted to try this particular technique with the ribbons, you could use it for any type of layout. It wouldn't necessarily have to be travel, but in this case, because the kit had a little bit of a travel theme, that's what I'm going to go with. So at this point, I'm sort of getting to that phase where I, have to decide if I'm going to add some mixed media or how I'm going to enhance this page. I decide that it was quite busy already with the ribbon cluster that I've got going on, which you can see I've finished, and I have used lots of embellishments. There's a little butterfly in there, there's some travel cases, a few little bits and pieces, just to not make it too ribbony and break it up a little bit. So I decided that I'm not going to add any mixed media. It's quite a busy layout already. I didn't need to add any more than the title and the embellishments that I have. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use these stickers, but I actually really like the way they look on the page. I love the different colors. I love that they're so textured. They just they really work. So for this particular page, I love the final creation. Now that I'm happy with the layout and I've decided not to add any mixed media, I'm just attaching everything, sticking it all down. I gave you a sort of a longer video this month. Normally I edit out quite a bit of the extra stuff that you don't necessarily need to see, but I'm having a bit of a go at changing a few things and just showing you the actual process and how I get inspired. And in this case, I hope that you really enjoyed the magazine inspiration. I've got a couple more of those coming for later in this month. So thank you for watching. That is my first layout for the month. And if you are inspired to try this ribbon technique, or you've picked something else out of a magazine, please share it. We love seeing your creations. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and check out Kitaholic Kits. Thanks for watching.